HarperAudio Australia presents A Land of Two Halves, written by Joe Bennett and read by Kevin Spink. To the kind and generous people who gave me lifts. I've changed the names of some of them, but nothing else. The Reintroduction, Mate. The bulk of this book dates from 2003. It was commissioned by a London publisher and written primarily for a British audience. It aimed to paint a picture of New Zealand for readers who hadn't been here. I've left most of the text as it was, apart from a few passages that now seem clunky or insensitive. A lot has happened since 2003. Elections, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, a pandemic, mass murder, social media, a sense of eco-doom. But the New Zealand described in these pages persists. The name of the All Black First Five has changed, but there is still an All Black First Five. Waves still thump against Hokitika beach. The argument still rages over the Treaty of Waitangi. There was one serious omission in the original text, the South Island north of Christchurch. To put that right, I went hitching again, despite now being a pensioner with an iffy prostate. In 4 new chapters at the back of the book, you'll see how that went. At the end of the original introduction, I wondered whether, when my old dog died, I should stay in New Zealand or move on. Obviously, that question's been answered. Indeed, I'm beginning to wonder, after 37 years here, whether I can almost call myself a Kiwi. No, I thought not. J.B. Littleton, August 2024. The Introduction, Mate. I came to New Zealand in 1987, expecting to stay for a year. I've stayed for 16. I like it here. I arrived at the age of 29. Before then, I'd lived in assorted safe countries, but I didn't settle in any of them. The thought of other places excited me too much. New Zealand was not one of those places, but Australia was. I had a romantic image of Australia. I got it from cricket. On winter nights in childhood, when Sussex was frozen like iron, I would lie in bed with the radio, listening to John Arlott describing the seagulls fluttering into a sapphire sky above the SCG, as Doug Walters cut another ball to the white picket fence. I saw Australia as bright-edged, happy, and hot. I did not have a romantic image of New Zealand. If I thought of it at all, I thought of it as a smaller, greener Australia. New Zealand was keen on, but bad at cricket. It did sheep and butter well, but these did not excite me. So when chance flung me a job in New Zealand, I saw it as a stepping stone. After a year, I would cross the Tasman Sea to Australia, and then perhaps I'd settle down. I was a teacher then. I came to a school in Christchurch in the South Island, where I was given a room in a boys' boarding house. The boys didn't seem typical of my image of New Zealand. They seemed archetypical. All were white, and most were farmers' sons. They came from the huge high country stations, where the muster of the merinos takes a week, or from the lowland farms that supplied my childhood on the other side of the world with lamb and butter, or from the orchards of Hawke's Bay that sent me apples in spring. Most of the boys were outgoing, honest, active, and cheerful. Few starred in the classroom. When they wrote, they wrapped themselves around the pen and stuck their tongues out. The bell at the end of the day was a release into physical activity. These boys liked rugby and making things. On sports day, they preferred to run barefoot. They could climb ropes. They could work dogs. They rarely complained. I liked them. A couple of times a year, their parents came to town in their dusty 4-wheel drives. I liked them too. The mothers wore moleskins and blue Guernseys, and their handshakes were firm. The fathers wore moleskins and Airtex shirts and brown check jackets, and their handshakes broke bones. The housemaster would lay in vast quantities of whiskey and throw a party. The laughter at the party would be rich and unrestrained, and the party never ended before the whiskey did. The first public holiday after I arrived was Waitangi Day. I knew nothing of the Treaty of Waitangi, the accord between the British Crown and Maori that is officially the founding
Sample complete. Ready to continue?